This is the 9th episode of the MMA on Tap podcast. Today's beer is Lagunitas IPA. It has a 6.2 alcohol percentage. It's from California. 186 calories for each one.
Or do we do a calorie count?
I don't know.
Who cares?
What do you think about it?
It's pretty good. Not too hoppy. I'd give it a 2.5 being an average beer. I would say 3. I'd give it a 3.
Yeah, it's a 3.57.
Wow.
An overall rating of 92 out of 100. I'm surprised.
3.5.
Yeah,
good.
It's a pretty good one. I'd give it a 1.5.
You don't like IPAs, and you pick
Sometimes
up
I
IPAs.
do. It
Really?
depends. Yeah. It just depends. Like, half of them I like, half of them I don't like. I like hoppy, but not too hoppy.
This
I
one's
don't
not
know.
very hoppy.
I know. Maybe it's like, I don't know. There's just some taste I don't. Maybe it is the hops. Who knows? I'll keep drinking it anyways. Yeah, so there was a lot of news this week. We're going to start off by breaking down or recapping the UFC 215 card this past Saturday. We're doing it super late. I think people have kind of moved on since, but I've been wanting to talk about a couple of the fights and kind of like what's next for the fighters. And then some news we'll talk about in the middle, and then at the end we'll just break down the Luke Rockhold Dave Branch fight. So let's start with breaking down the UFC 215 card. It did 16,000 people, which isn't bad at all for this pay-per-view because it just wasn't good, especially with DJ falling out. There just wasn't huge names, but they did. I mean, they always do well when they go to Canada. So the crowd was into it up until the main event. The first fight that I saw that night was the first fight on the main card, Jeremy Stephens against Gilbert Melendez, and we both picked Stephens, right, to win? I'm pretty sure we did.
I think so.
Yeah, we did. And he won unanimously. 2 judges had him winning 30-26, and 1 judge had it 30-25. I would have said 30-25 is accurate.
Yeah, it should have been 30-25. He got his ass beat. And that leg, that was nasty.
It was like the first leg kick Jeremy landed. Just messed. He dropped him 5 times with leg kicks.
Yeah, and that's a record. That counts as those count
That's
as
great.
knockdowns.
Yeah, they do. That's awesome.
They should. But
I mean, Gilbert only only landed 30 punches. Jeremy landed 101. 96 of them were significant. So
Gilbert looked. Jeremy looked way better.
Oh yeah,
Gilbert looked good because he looked tough.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he didn't look very good. His career's going downhill. He's not had a good UFC career. He was good outside, and I think he's only won once in the UFC.
Once or twice.
He hasn't won since 2013.
That's insane. But he also did fail a drug test, so he was out for a year or 2 with that.
Yeah.
But still, that's so long ago.
Yeah.
He really did. He never really hit his stride. I think his first fight in the UFC was for the belt against Ben Henderson because he was the Strikeforce champ. Yeah. And then he came over, and they first gave him Ben Henderson. And a lot of people thought it was a split decision loss to Benson, but a lot of people thought that Gilbert won. And then his only win has been Diego Sanchez, which kind of seems to be the...
A top dog.
Seems to be the thing. When you look at people who's fought Diego Sanchez, they've all beaten Diego before or after 2008. But, 1 in 5 in the UFC. They've all been tough guys that he's lost to. Ben Henderson, who was the champ. Pettis, who was the champ. Eddie Alvarez, who was the champ after he lost to... after Alvarez beat Gilbert, and then he lost to Barboza, and now Stephens. So they're all top dogs. I don't know. I'd give him just.
I wouldn't say Jeremy Stephens is a top dog, but yeah, he's lost to the top dogs, I guess.
I don't know. I'll tell you who I'm interested in seeing Jeremy fight next is Yair Rodriguez. That's the fight that I would love to see.
Yeah, that'd be good. 2 stand-up guys.
Yeah, I think Jeremy would beat him, but I think it'd be a great fight.
Yeah,
and
I'll take Yair on that one.
Yair's 7th. Jeremy Stephens is 8th. It makes sense. So So I think that's what they should do. But yeah, like I can't say how tough. You can't say enough how tough Melendez was. I mean, he wanted to be. I don't know how you fight through that. And then he tried to switch stances, but he didn't train that way. Yeah, it's like, but you train the whole camp. You can't just, like, in the middle of a fight, just be like, oh, yeah, I'll just change this, like, no problem. Yeah. It's just so different. Even though I'm yelling, I'm like, he just needs to switch stances. Like, I'm a fan. Like, you don't understand how you think he doesn't know that he should probably try and change stances. So, but it was, I think Stevens, he didn't.
Good fight, good game plan.
Good game plan.
That definitely helped him. Hurting his leg early.
Yeah.
Gave him a lot of confidence. So.
Yeah. His leg's still red. Gilbert.
I saw the pictures. They're gross.
His wife posted another one today. So, yeah.
It's gross, but.
So I would like to see Gilbert fight again one more time in the UFC and just give him like an unranked guy, someone at like Diego Sanchez level or something. Or give him a rematch. They're both Mexican, and so they throw down. That was one of the best fights ever. So now the next fight that was on the main card, I didn't really care about, but it was Walter's fight of the night before.
My pick,
his pick of fight of the night before the card. Ilir Latifi and Tyson Pedro
didn't live up to what I thought it would.
Break down your fight of the night.
Yeah. Oh man, let me see if I can remember. A few exchanges, and then
it wasn't a bad fight.
Really, just Ilir dominating him, and then just has more experience. But I mean, the kid looked good. I liked his striking. He could be good going down the road, but he still needs some. He needs some experience. I think that was a good fight for him to get UFC experience.
It's a top guy. He's like he was happy with. I mean, as soon as the fight was over, he was just like Tyson Pedro was like happy with. He's like, you lose sometimes. I've learned. I find that's his first loss. So I'm sure he'll win his next fight. So my fight of the night, because actually Stevens Melendez was fight of the night officially. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because mine was Henry Cejudo and Wilson Hayes, even though it just went 25 seconds into the second round.
That was good.
I am so high on Cejudo. It looked like he's been. It didn't even look like he was a gold medalist in wrestling. It looked like he's been striking for 10, 15 years. He's been an MMA fighter for 4 years, and his striking looked so fast, so good. He was my fighter of the night for sure. Him and Dos Anjos.
Most impressive performance for sure.
So impressive. I mean, he comes out in a karate stance too, like a Conor McGregor stance, which I'm like, what is he doing? He doesn't know. Like he doesn't have a clue, but it works for him. And
he's training with Machida, wasn't he, for that camp? I think that's what they said.
Oh, did they?
That's why
that would make sense. Why
like that?
I love that.
Look good.
He looked really good.
Next in line for a title fight, they don't make him do. Demetrius doesn't have to do a fight with like DJ or something.
Demetrius doesn't have to do a fight with DJ?
No, Demetrius Johnson doesn't have to do a fight with TJ.
Oh, with TJ. Oh, yeah, no. That's a great point. I mean, TJ's fighting for the belt against Cody, so
but
you never.
Wins, they might do a super fight thing. Or...
Yeah, I would rather see Cejudo fight Joseph Benavidez again because his last loss was to Joseph. It was a split decision, but I thought Cejudo won the fight easily, 2-1. That's what I had it. So I want to see the rematch. Benavidez is ranked first or he's ranked first, and then
behind the champion.
Yeah, behind the champion, but and then Cejudo's ranked second. So I think they just do a rematch.
Yeah,
and then the winner of that fights for the belt, or who knows? But I think we should see Cejudo Benavidez too, because I couldn't have been more impressed with how he looked. I mean, he landed 61% of his punches. Hayes only landed 5 punches the whole fight. So,
yeah, that's not great. That's not great.
And he just fought for the belt. So, I think Cejudo, if he could give Demetrius some problems the way he was looking.
Maybe that's that hangover, though. Everyone who fights Demetrius Johnson has a bad follow-up fight.
True. I thought Cejudo had a good follow-up fight, but that's true. Breaks you down.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he fucked Hayes up. Demetrius did because he submitted Hayes and nobody saw that coming.
Yeah,
I didn't think Hayes saw it coming. He's like, no way, this guy's going to tap me out. But so Demetrius is just so well-rounded. Yeah, he can do it all. So we both picked Cejudo on that one.
Said give Hayes.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Pettis. Give him Pettis.
No, actually. Oh shoot. Yeah. I wouldn't do that, but It seems like they're going to do Pettis Cejudo, yeah, because the fight was supposed to happen a couple months ago, and then Cejudo had to pull out the week of or something. So
it's a huge step up for Pettis.
I mean, Pettis is ranked 4th and Cejudo's 2nd, so.
Yeah,
but for Pettis,
it's not super deep.
It's not deep at all.
He got to 4th beating Moreno, whose stand-up is trash.
Yeah, that's true. So,
we'll see.
I forgot about Sergio, so I would rather see Cejudo, Sergio, Pettis, and then Hayes can fight Formiga. Formiga's 5th, Hayes is 6th. Sure.
It doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I really, anyways.
They're not getting the belt.
Yeah. Then the co-main event was Rafael dos Anjos against Neil Magny. Dos Anjos got Neil Magny with an arm triangle choke in the first round. Landed a vicious leg kick to Neil Magny that put him on his ass and then just got on top and got the submission. So it was really easy work for Dos Anjos. Neil Magny, if he's not striking or wrestling, his ground game isn't that great. He has good wrestling and counter wrestling, but if it goes to the ground against a good jiu-jitsu guy, he's not very good.
Yeah, and he's just getting beat up. He didn't look very good, honestly.
I mean, it was only 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and over half that time was them on the ground, so he didn't do anything.
RDA looks comfortable. I think he'll be fine for the belt soon, I bet.
I think so. Well, yeah, they said when Damian Maia fought Tyron Woodley, they said if Maia didn't accept the fight, they were going to give it to Dos Anjos, and he had only fought once in the welterweight, but I guess
maybe they give him Robbie Lawler.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see that.
He gets that.
That's my favorite. That's what I want to see.
That would be a lot of fun.
Who would you pick in that early pick? I would pick Dos Anjos because I think he'll be able to get Lawler down. So
the leg kicks.
Yeah,
that'll be annoying. But no, no.
RDA looks good at welterweight. It's like a Cerrone going up to welterweight. They both look really good. Cutting too much weight.
They should have a rematch.
No,
that would be cool.
That'd be terrible for Cerrone.
Yeah,
it would be a bad
I don't think he'd win. I don't think he'd want to fight him again.
No. Cerrone will fight anywhere, anytime. He's the only fighter that I can say that about. He doesn't care. He is career suicide for Cerrone. Fighting anyone.
Yeah.
It's career suicide.
But that would just be... It's like, dude, you got whooped so bad the first time.
Well, I'm just saying he just...
He would.
But I'm saying...
Honestly, I think he would think in his mind, like, he would say just to keep that persona. But
the cowboy persona.
But he would, behind the scenes, I bet, be like, oh, this isn't good.
But everyone wants to avenge their losses. I think
good.
I don't know. Who knows?
That was
right.
more than a loss. That was
a beatdown.
That was a 10-7 round that ended in a TKO.
We were like, this is going to be one of the best fights in lightweight. Donald's going to be champ, and it was just like a minute in, body kick.
Well, you knew something from the beginning. It was off when he went in. I don't. Yep. You could see in his face he looked nervous. Mm-hmm. Either way, RDA looks good.
Looked amazing. Yeah, him fighting Robbie Lawler. Damian Maia would be just as fun because if it goes to the ground, RDA has good defense.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Damian Maia is boring.
Depends on the stylistical matchups. But
if he can take you down, it's not, and he looks good. But if he can't, he'll just try to take you down for a long time.
It's true. And then, so we both picked. Ooh, who did we pick for that one?
We both picked Magny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then the main event was the champ, Amanda Nunes, retaining the belt against Valentina Shevchenko by split decision. You won that one.
Of course.
The judges' scorecards were everywhere. Almost every single round had judges disagreeing with each other on the official scorecards. So it was super close. I rewatched the fight. I gave it to Nunes because Shevchenko, she just counters too much. And it's an MMA fight, and Shevchenko just was striking. So you have to give Amanda points on the cage, on the grappling, and the control. It was more of the control. That's how you win MMA fights. You can't win purely on striking. You have to be well-rounded. So I definitely think that Nunes got the nod when I rewatched it. But it was super close. It was all about that fifth round. Nunes didn't do anything on the ground, but she was on top, and Shevchenko was hitting her with hard punches, but she was on bottom. So I don't know. The fans hated the fight. Nobody liked it.
Yeah.
I watched the whole fight. I didn't look at my phone and stuff. I was into it, but it wasn't a great main event. But I didn't hate it like everyone else did, and I'm usually the first one to hate fights. So,
I mean, it wasn't terribly inactive. They weren't getting dropped or anything. There weren't major points where oh, you remember when that happened in the fight? Weren't a lot of iconic memories. It was all just kind of bland, kind of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Just basic stand-up. But I thought it was good. Definitely gave it to Nunes. Felt like she won. I think she outstruck her in every round except for the fifth.
Did she?
I think she did. It was close.
They were all close, yeah.
The last one wasn't.
No, the last one
she
really
didn't
wasn't.
really do much.
It could have been, I think, it was 2-2 going into the fifth, and I did give the fifth to Nunes. So, you mentioned something, I believe, during the fight. You said, in order to be the champ, you have to beat the champ decisively.
Yeah. So if it had been a draw, I mean, Amanda Nunes keeps it. I think.
Right. Well, that's automatic.
Yeah.
That's the rule. But some fans actually believe that it's a rule.
Finish.
No, not a finish, but you have to if it's a close fight, if it's even if it's a split decision, it has to go to the champ because she's the champ and she earned it. So and it's not a rule. People are just I hate when I hear that sometimes.
It's obviously not a rule, but
some people think it is for real.
It should be. Yeah. It should be. I think.
I don't know.
Absolutely, but that would just all right, who cares? That just makes title fights that much more exciting because you have to lay everything on the line, so people have to go harder. I can't let this be close. That's
a good point.
So, I mean, it would only make title fights more exciting.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. You worked hard to get there. You won yours. Because you're going to have to win the belt by clearly, decisively beating the other person. So they went out and earned it really hard. They reserve the right to, if it's a close fight, for them to get the nod. So,
yeah.
I don't know. That'd be a cool rule change, but I don't know. Amanda Nunes looked great.
She looked okay. I think she looked okay.
As much as you could expect. I mean, that's clearly her toughest competition right there.
Yeah, so. It really is. I mean, she never fought Holly Holm. I would love to see Holly Holm fight Nunes. I think she could give Nunes problems, but I think Nunes is going to have the belt for some time, honestly.
For a while. Yeah, they're in trouble because no one's beaten Shevchenko outside of Nunes.
I don't know, yeah. That's good. That's true.
Shevchenko just beat up Holly Holm, and that's probably the third best girl.
Yeah, she did. Actually, Juliana Peña's third. Yeah. Oh, Holly Holm's second, then Shevchenko.
Yeah, so, it's a weird time.
I don't know who.
Women's bantamweight.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weak, honestly. Looking at the rankings, it's pretty weak. Ronda's still ranked. She's fifth.
Please come back, Ronda. Oh God,
she'll just never come back. I guess Nunes should try to go up to featherweight and hold two belts at one time. I mean, you have no good fights at bantamweight. They get me super excited. So I don't know. I just think this is the second title fight, I believe. Because the one before this was Damian Maia and Tyron Woodley, and they were just kind of slow paced. Well, the other one, don't get me started on that.
Yeah.
But they've just kind of been slow paced, and UFC. I mean, Dana's not happy with these last couple title fights. He didn't really like this fight either, and I think you have now, rather than straight killers that are champions. Some of them they're now fighting super smart and safe because it's such a huge financial risk if you aren't the champ. So that's how we're seeing boring fighters. I think the UFC has made a mistake in that they pay their champions so much more. That's why Amanda Nunes didn't fight Shevchenko 2 months ago because she was a little sick. And Dana was the doctor cleared her and stuff. But I think Nunes was why I'd go down back instead of making maybe $1 million, I'd be making under $100,000 my next fight because I fought sick just to help you guys. They're thinking about their own careers. So I think we're going to keep seeing some slow paced.
Yeah, they need to definitely up fighter pay. But I mean, let's go back to Amanda. It wasn't a small sickness. She was cleared, but she has to have surgery. on her sinuses.
Oh, that's true. Well,
so.
no, I'm saying that's what Dana said.
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
fine. I'm saying, I'm sure
She could have fought. She could have fought. She physically could have, but God.
And then obviously DJ versus Ray Borg got canceled, but it got rescheduled October 7th, the next pay-per-view. When they needed 216, they needed something to get it going. What else is on that card? Because it wasn't great.
It's Kevin Lee Ferguson.
Oh yeah. So
Doom, Derek Lewis.
That's about it. I'm looking at it. Got it right here. And then Paige Van Zandt, Jessica Eye. Yeah, doesn't do much.
Lower down.
Dariush, haven't done them. Okay. And then the one with Will Brooks and Nick Lentz, which I think is going to be...
Isn't Lando Venata fighting?
Yeah, Bobby Green.
Okay.
I just saw that.
That's a good fight.
That is my fight of the night. Will Brooks versus Nick Lentz is my sleeper of the night. It's going to be terrible. But anyways, that's...
Derek Lewis for Doom is going to be good, though.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. I don't know who I'm picking.
That's a good card without having anyone spectacular on it.
Yeah.
Demetrius is on it now, obviously. But
fight fans, I love this card as a fight fan. If you know, the heavyweight fight is awesome.
Lightweight, interim belt. Ugh.
Interim lightweight?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. Connor's fighting Nate Diaz next.
Interim belts are stupid.
Yeah, they are. But this one, you have to do it because Connor's not fighting at lightweight.
Yeah.
And if he does, it's Nate Diaz. I don't know what they... Yeah, like I said, they couldn't do it at 155 and that's the next fight. It's sounding like...
I hope it is at 155.
It'll probably be at 160 because that means that the interim belt is... Why would someone be fighting for an interim belt when the champ's defending his belt? So I'm sure it'd be at like 160 or something. Who knows? But that looks like the fight they're going to make, which we kind of already figured. But I think it could do $2 million.
Fight.
Yeah. It is the money fight.
What do you want? They want one?
So I enjoyed the 215 card. I love the Cejudo finish and the Dos Anjos finish. So good card overall. Definitely not worth the pay-per-view, buying the pay-per-view.
Not worth buying. Wonder what the numbers will be on that.
Yeah.
Probably around 400K.
You're crazy. I'm going to go with 250,000. The big news that happened yesterday was the California State Athletic Commission overturned John Jones' fight versus DC from a Jones win to a no contest. I don't know if it was a coincidence that the B sample came back and it was negative, and that's why they did. I think they were going to do it anyways, overturn it to a no contest. But as well, the B sample came back, and I mean, we all knew it was going to come back as the same because when you do the drug test, it's literally I think you pee into like one cup, and then they take that one sample and pour it into two. So it's not like it's two different samples; it's one sample poured into two cups. So and it's USADA, so they don't mess around with their drugs. So I knew that it was just a matter of time until I found out. So as a result, it's a no contest. So that means DC, who just got head kick knockout, is now the light heavyweight champion. How do you feel about him?
Feel great. Feel good. What's next for him? Who's he defended against?
My first question to you is do you think that he should have not accepted the belt and said, I'm going to fight for the belt, and fought Gustafsson, so it was a vacant belt, and then he fought for it?
No.
Because that's what fans were like. He should be like, because he just got, knocked out, he should be a man and, take the loss, even though it's technically a no contest, and then just fight for the belt, but financially, again, like I just said, you can't do that. And he said yesterday on UFC Tonight, he was like, I have to take the belt because I'm making so much more money as the champion. So that's why I had to. He's like, that's literally my only reason. If it was the same pay,
but it's like he lost to someone who was cheating, so that's not really a loss. So,
but you got head kick knockout. So in his head, he's like, I definitely lost.
Yeah, he lost the fight.
Yeah. But I know what you mean. On his record, it's not a loss, but he knows he lost.
But I mean, had he been on steroids, would it have been the same thing? Probably not.
You never know.
Probably would have done better, so wouldn't have done worse. But that's it. It doesn't matter. Give him the belt back, and then just I don't know who he fights. It's got to be Gustafsson, and they got to hope Gustafsson beats him.
Why?
So you need a younger UFC champ. DC's old.
Yeah, but he's
Gustafson's
good.
got a lot of momentum. He's got a full country behind him.
That's true.
I think he could be a bigger draw. And he gave John Jones his toughest fights. If John Jones does happen to come back and Gustafson's on a tear, it's like, this is the only guy to ever dominate Gustafsson. Maybe not beat him, but...
The thing that makes me most sad is we'll never get to see John Jones fight Gustafsson again. Because...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his punishment's going to be.
It's going to be 3 to 4 years.
Oh.
Guaranteed. 2 if he is... 2 years is a miracle. 3 years is what I think he'll get. But it's technically 3 to 4 years. And this is his third offense. So, and he has been stripped 3 times now of the belt. This is the greatest fighter in MMA history.
Yeah.
And he has lost the belt. He got it taken away in 2015 for the hit and run, hitting a pregnant lady while driving. And then 2016 for, was it the boner pills?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this time for whatever, his excuses. So, he's just his own worst enemy. Not doing good in real life.
The person to beat John Jones was himself.
And I'm mad. I'm mad at him. I'm just mad. Like, you can't do that, dude. To us as fans, that is.
He took all these fights away from you.
Yep. And you're ruining, tarnishing your legacy.
Yeah.
Do you think he's the greatest fighter of all time?
Right now?
Well, yeah.
Pound for pound, yeah.
Even with the steroids and stuff, all that, you'll still say that he's the best fighter of all time? It's a tough question.
Yeah,
it's just a personal opinion, really.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's the huge news this week that DC is now champ again, and I'm excited for the Gustafsson rematch against DC. That'll be a really good fight. The first one was one of the best light heavyweight fights of all time, so definitely looking forward to that. But just no John Jones makes me sad.
Yeah,
it's like when Anderson Silva was on top. If he was out for 3 or 4 years, it would have been depressing.
Yeah,
because Jones looked
their division. It is.
So some people want him to try to get out of his contract. If he gets 3 or 4 years, go to Ryzen and just do like all the steroids. It's the one in Japan. It's kind of like the Pride. It's called Ryzen. Yeah. And just just take all the steroids
go to
and then
Bellator or some shit. They'd give him. Could he? No, can't stay in the U.S.
And because he's banned everywhere in the U.S. Yeah, that's why you would have to go to Ryzen, where they don't drug test. So it'd be fun to see John Jones.
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a major bummer, but I'm glad that DC's the champ again. At least he deserves. What a whirlwind of emotions for him. Getting knocked out for the first time. And do you think there's a chance that DC could sue John Jones because he forgets like 10 minutes after he got knocked out, he doesn't remember the next 10 minutes, and you can maybe blame that on steroids? Do you think that that's something that he would ever look into?
I don't know.
It's interesting.
Probably not, but...
That's just right.
People doing
that? No, but it's Mark Hunt kind of with Brock Lesnar, so... I don't think DC would do it.
You should be allowed to do that.
Yeah. Well, you can sue anybody, but I don't know if you can win.
Yeah.
But that reminded me, did you see this story on the dude when Conor McGregor threw the Monster Energy drink cans at Nate Diaz, at that press conference? He hit a security guard, and this week this security guard said that he's suing Conor McGregor for $95,000 for getting hit with a Monster can. And he said he got to $95,000 because Nate Diaz landed approximately Conor landed 186 significant strikes on Nate Diaz and made approximately $15 million. So he took $15 million and divided it by 186, so that it's one punch was worth, out of the $15 million, getting hit with the can was worth $95,000, and that's how he got.
Counts as a strike.
As a strike, and I was like, that is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. And, hey, you do what you got to do to make money, I guess, but that's
you probably get it.
No way, no way.
Yeah,
and I thought that was so funny how he came, because I'm like, 95, that's a lot of money.
Just makes sense.
He's like, I did some calculations, some math.
You crunch the numbers, it adds up.
So that was the funniest thing I've seen all week in MMA.
Get your money.
People are saying the opposite. They're like, never be like this guy. This guy is not who you want to be like when you grow up. It was gross to read, but hilarious at the same time. Anything else you want to say about the John Jones thing? Are you no longer a fan of his?
No, I like watching him fight.
Yeah, I do too. I'd still pay when he comes back.
Yeah.
Do you think he comes back?
Yeah.
Let's say he gets 4 years.
Yeah, only be 34 or 35.
The game, I don't know. That's a long time to train, and you'd have to be training the whole time and not be making any money.
I'm just saying he's coming back. I'm not going to say he's going to come back good.
Yeah, but just I'm saying, come back in general.
You never know if there's a young kid right now who's going to have taken over. So it's just a waste for him.
What's he do? He's made a bunch of money, so hopefully he saved it. Because I mean, how do you make money? Because
strike me as a savvy businessman.
No. Based off of, I can give you a bunch of reasons.
Can't even market himself or handle his own business.
He was sponsored by Nike for a little bit, but they were barely paying him. But still, he was the only fighter ever to be sponsored by Nike. But as soon as he hit the pregnant girl, all his sponsors went away. And now it's Reebok, and you only get paid by Reebok if you fight. So, yeah, I don't think he has any sponsors. And if he does, I'd be shocked, because who would want to sponsor him after just everything he's done? And then can't fight. Does he teach class? Become part of Jackson's MMA, like striking?
Becomes a coach. Yeah,
coach.
Legendary coach.
Yeah, I don't know. Because how do you make money? Do you get a job?
He's got plenty of money.
Think the UFC will hire him for something?
No.
I think Dana hates him.
Yeah.
Likes him when he makes some money, and hates him most of the time.
It's probably Dana with anybody.
Yeah.
So what do you think about this Luke Rockhold?
Oh, yeah.
David Branch fight that's coming up in the legendary UFC Fight Night, Pittsburgh. That will also draw 400,000 views.
It'll do. Actually, it's going to do so bad because Triple G and Canelo's this weekend, and I'm watching that boxing match, and then I'll watch the Luke Rockhold David Branch fight. I'll record it and watch it after, because I mean, on this card. Oh shoot! I didn't even realize Uriah Hall and that Jutko guy, Christoph.
Yeah.
Dude, and you told me on trivia, like the second episode or something, that this Christoph dude has the two, like, maybe it's not this guy. I swear this was the guy. He had, like, two elbow knockouts or something. He doesn't have any, so I don't know who I'm thinking of. But I might watch that fight. And then Hector Lombard, Anthony Smith. I don't know who Anthony Smith is, so I'll take Hector Lombard. Mike Perry was supposed to fight Thiago Alves. That was the fight I was looking most forward to. And then now Thiago Alves is out. But that's because he wanted to stay with his family in Florida during the hurricane. So that's totally respectable. You don't want to leave your wife and kids. Yeah. You're like, I got to go fight, like, peace.
Catch me on Fox Sports.
Well, you probably won't be able to get it because the power's out, but go find it somewhere. No,
sure, we have data.
So he's fighting Alex Reyes, who I think they just signed him or something. I don't know. Now I don't care about that fight. Mike Perry will knock him out, I bet. And so, Luke Rockhold, David Branch.
Really the only thing going for this card. It's a decent fight.
I'm super excited for it.
Who's your pick?
David Branch.
Good.
And lately I kind of do enjoy picking. Sometimes I enjoy picking against you, but I have a couple reasons. It's been a little while since Luke Rockhold has fought, and he's coming off the knockout by Bisping, so I don't think he's mentally. Well, he's probably ready to get back in there.
Yeah.
I should be taking Luke Rockhold. I'm being stupid. This is like me picking Jim Miller over Anthony Pettis. I did that off of emotion. I'm going to go with Luke Rockhold.
Oh my god! Changed it already. You'll probably change it when you rewatch the fight.
The only reason why I want to pick David Branch is because people with like inside sources, they said like we've been hearing from multiple sources that David Branch is like a straight killer right now in the gym. Like, he had his first terrible fight in the UFC back,
Yeah.
but they're saying he is. So I just took that information. I was like, they said he's killing, I'm sure. And he's also won, like,
Pick him.
11. He's won 10 in a row. He was the double champ in WSOF. Beat Yushin Okami, knocked him out in the 4th round. So that's his best win, though, and out of those 10. Lost to Johnson. I'm going to have to pick Luke Rockhold officially.
Okay.
It's official on the podcast. I just changed my mind on the podcast, but it's official. Luke Rockhold. I'm not going to just take the little bit of information I got on David Branch, because Luke Rockhold he beat Chris Weidman, so he's legit.
Yeah. Knocked him out, actually.
So Luke Rockhold is my official pick.
A doll.
Yeah, anyways, so Luke Rockhold is my official pick, but don't be surprised if David Branch wins. That's what I'm saying.
I think it's close.
Yep. I don't know, but I'm saying don't be surprised if David Branch does. He could knock him out, because Bisping can knock you out. Anyone can really knock you out. You know, Bisping's striking is really good. I just didn't know he had powers, so.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't. Maybe.
And let's see if Luke Rockhold learned from his mistake. They said he always drops his left hand or something.
Yeah.
So. I don't know.
I got Rockhold, too.
Yeah.
I was looking at Branch. I'm like, all right, maybe. I think he could win. Maybe off a decision or something, grind something out.
It's a 5-rounder.
I don't see him taking him down or anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a better wrestler than Luke Rockhold's fought in the UFC already. Branch has the reach, though. He's got a slight reach on.
Yeah.
A little bit shorter, but a little bit of reach. But it's not like his striking's super elite. It's just kind of like he'll get submissions. So I don't know. I got Luke Rockhold. I think he's got more weapons.
Yeah, how do you
He's
think
got
he
leg
could?
kicks.
Do you think he'll finish him?
I think he'll finish David Branch. That's my prediction. I think it's going to be a finish. I could see a submission finish.
He's been
probably TKO.
Oh, I remember that. I'm going to have TKO by Luke Rockhold. That's what I'm going to pick, and I want to pick. You're 2 wins ahead of me in our official picks for the year.
Yeah.
So I have to be smart. So this one, it's like if it was a little closer, I don't know. I honestly haven't seen David Branch. I've seen him fight maybe once. I saw him fight 6 years ago. His one fight in the UFC when he got knockout slammed.
Yeah.
And I saw him maybe fight once, and I saw him fight Yushin Okami, but that's not hard, really. And then we didn't watch his first fight back in the UFC, so I don't have anything to base this off of. That's why I can't pick him, because I really haven't seen him fight in years. Yeah. And just to go, literally, that was my only argument. Was they say he's been looking like a killer in the gym.
That's all Jeremy needs. I'll put 100 down on him.
I'm so emotional about my picks. It's so bad. But this one I got to be smart, and I don't want to go down 3, because the year we're in our 4th quarter of picks, so I got to come back somehow. So I'll have to be ballsy on one of the upcoming.
Streams are looking great.
What?
Our revenue streams are looking great.
Revenue streams.
Good 4th quarter.
We should do some. What does the loser, or what does the winner get, or what does the loser get? Whoever has the most picks. We have to be creative.
What do you want to lose,
dude?
I don't see myself.
I don't either. So
the margin will only get wider.
Dude, I had a lead. You had a lead. Then I got the lead. Now you have the lead. I'm going to come in strong in the 4th quarter. Okay. So I'm just saying, you better watch your back.
Yeah, should have picked Nunes over Shevchenko.
I didn't. Did you see? Shout out to TJ watching or listening to our podcast.
TJ
gave us a like and commented he was going to put all his money on because he is a betting man, yeah.
Yeah, so
he's a real betting man.
Maybe not take advice from Jeremy. Don't take picks from Jeremy.
Damn it. Well, you always try to talk me into picking the other guy or something.
You should pick David Branch.
I can't do it. I can't. Based off of what I've heard.
Go rewatch the Chris Weidman fight, and then.
Well, then I'd pick Luke Rockhold. And I will never rewatch that fight again. One time I think I just saw the spinning... Oh, yeah, when you see Luke Rockhold highlights, before they walk out, they show highlights, I always have to look away because I can't see him beating Chris. Okay. It's just... It makes me sad.
My baby boy.
Yeah. And then, the next weekend is a card on FXX in Japan. We'll break it down next week. I'm just looking at it now. Lots of Japanese guys, but... Yeah, that'll be good. OSP and Shogun rematch, but yeah, you're gonna be tuning in for the Luke Rockhold fight. Are you gonna watch the Triple G Canelo fight this weekend? No, not into boxing. You were just doing it for McGregor Mayweather.
Yeah, yeah.
I will only do it when it's like a huge fight, like Anthony Joshua fighting Klitschko, McGregor, Mayweather, and then this will be the third fight I watch this year. Yeah. Probably the boxing match.
Unless they're like really, really big fights. Even though it is.
Yeah, I know, it is. But yeah, no, I don't blame you. Cause
it has to be something bigger.
Yeah. No, for a casual fan, this is... Or if you're a boxing fan, this is like Mayweather... Or no, this is like Diaz-McGregor level.
Okay. Yeah.
It's Triple G Canelo this week, and that's the level. So it's huge. I don't know how it'll do on pay-per-view. I think it'll do pretty well, but I can't wait for it. I'm picking Canelo. I think he'll get it done. He has one loss to Floyd Mayweather, obviously. Triple G's undefeated, but Triple G's older, hasn't fought as tougher competition as Canelo, so I think Canelo will get it done. So, but it's going to be a barn burner. I mean, they have combined like so many knockouts. It's ridiculous. They're both knockout artists, so it's going to be awesome. A couple other fights that were announced this week that I just got excited about was Joanna Jędrzejczyk versus Rose Namajunas for UFC 217. That card is looking like card of the year for sure.
Yeah, 3 title fights.
Loving it. Yeah. And yeah, TJ Cody is the best bantamweight fight of all time. Because the Bad Blood, because I love the emotion stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So the Bad Blood, and they're both number 1 and 2. If not, okay, you can put Dominic Cruz in there, but I mean, I would rather see these two guys fight than Dominic Cody. I'm more excited for this because of the Bad Blood. They used to train together. They know who's gotten the best of each other, and so that's great. And then I'm just bummed because the pay-per-view is so solid up until the main event. Then I'm just like, all right, I don't care about this fight. Bisping, GSP, don't care. You get to see Joanna.
That was obviously it was first.
They're saying that it should have been Dillashaw versus Cody as the main event. Like, no, you can't. Do you hate money, UFC? Do you hate money? You can't do that. So they're putting Cody Garbrandt, Dillashaw on this card because they hope it's going to do good because GSP's on it. Yeah. And then hopefully Cody wins spectacularly, gets on the mic and talks some shit because they are trying to get Cody to be a huge star. So, and then Joanna before that.
Yeah, that's really the best card left of this year, I'm guessing.
Unfortunately,
crazy.
I'm looking at it, and these could all very well be decisions. I mean, Joanna versus Rose, I think that could be... Joanna usually fights to a decision. She gets finished every once in a while. Garbrandt, Dillashaw, very well could be, or a knockout, but then Bisping, St. Pierre, probably. So that's the curse of the 3 title fights, is 75 minutes of fighting for the last 3 fights.
It's risky, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyways, Joanna versus Rose, that's the fight to make. I want it to be a draw and have Joanna retain the belt because they're my 2 favorite strawweights by far. But I think Joanna will win. But we'll break that down when it comes up. But yeah, I want it to be a draw.
Still some things to look forward to.
Yeah. And then the last fight that was announced last night was Anthony Pettis versus Dustin Poirier. And that's just a fun fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
Fun fight.
Pettis win, but that'll be fun.
Ooh. I'll take you on
Pick
that.
Poirier.
I will.
Pick him.
I will, sir. And then, Cerrone's fighting Darren Till. This is classic Cerrone, just fighting anybody, anywhere, anytime. You just barely lost to Robbie Lawler. You should be fighting one of the top guys, and you could be 1 fight away from a title shot, maybe, if it's spectacular and you beat one of the top guys. Yeah. But no, I'll fight anywhere. I'll fight in Poland in the main event on a card that nobody is going to watch on Fight Pass. What are you doing? And you know what?
He could lose it, too.
That's the thing. He could lose. And I'm not mad at Cerrone by any means because he's a fighter. He doesn't care. He will fight anyone.
Mad
but
at the UFC.
No, his management, Cerrone's management. You said, no, we're not taking this fight. He has been mismanaged. Whoever's management team is, they're garbage.
How much control is Cerrone going to allow any manager to have over him? Cerrone makes the calls. You know.
Yeah.
If you want to give me advice, that's fine, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And they're like, I can't imagine being a Cerrone manager. Like, You can tell him whatever you want. He's going to do what he wants to do at the end of the day.
I don't know if you're... I guess, but it's I don't know. He's ruining his career. Yeah. He's ruining his career.
He could be having it easier, but I don't think he wants it easy, so...
So that bummed me out, because I get excited when he fights, and because he fights named people. I don't even know who Darren Till is. Cerrone, he's like, I've never heard of him before. I'm like, what are we doing?
2
and
years,
in Poland,
2 years.
On Fight Pass.
Maybe he'll be really good, too. Joe Rogan was talking good about him.
Was he?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said he looks really good. He's like, this is a dangerous fight for Cerrone. He's like, but he'll take any fight, so... Respect to that. That'll get him in the Hall of Fame. That's all he wants. His cowboy hat and gold.
No, he wants money. And you're not making... I don't know. I'm not... I guess he fights often, but not happy with this fight. Especially on Fight Pass. Like, you should be fighting on pay-per-views, on main events, and on Fox Sports 1 cards. Not Poland. Except, I don't know. And that's kind of soon.
5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's October 21st. So, man, there are so many cards coming up. Can't even keep track. We had like a 6-week break, and now it's like cards every weekend, and this is the problem when they have cards every weekend. You get cards like David Branch versus Luke Rockhold, super thin. I mean, Hector Lombard's a name. He's fun to watch, and then Mike Perry knocks people out. So I think the fights could be okay, but none of these guys get me excited. So I'll be watching boxing this weekend and tune into these fights later. I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Good luck to Rockhold and Branch.
Good luck to Rockhold. You sure you don't want to take Branch? I just told you some
You're
crazy
the one
stuff.
You can. I'm sure you'll switch.
I won't. There's no way. There's no way. I said, my prediction, Luke Rockhold, don't be surprised if David Branch wins, though. Watch out. So, okay. So, next week we'll recap this card.
That's amazing. And see how much the middleweight division has changed, been erupted.
But, and then there's a card in Japan the next weekend, so Shogun versus St. Preux. So, not much to... Hopefully there's some big news or some big fight announced or something next week, because not much to break down or recap. But, so you were digging the beer. I had 3 sips and got full, so I'm done drinking.
It's filling, but it's pretty good.
Cool.
It's a 3.
Well, all right, hopefully we can do this early next week, and, I don't know, we'll get it. Episode 10. We're in the double digits next week.
Double digits.
All right, episode 9.
Special beer.
Oh, it's your turn, so.
Good.
All right, cool. Be back next week, then.